Back to Otter Pop Culture. Today we're going to be going over some of Zayn. Zayn has finally released his album, and I'm so excited for it. I've been waiting for it for several months, maybe several years. And he finally released it. It's finally out. I'm so happy. And we are going to go into detail about his album. This is going to be another part 1, part 2 thing because his album is super, super long. It's like 27 songs. And as much as I was really expecting like a 13 album thing, and I was actually panicking because I was like, it's going to be one of those things he released at least like 8 songs, I think. And I was just like, that's pretty much the whole album. I pretty much know the album. I'm so upset that I'm going to know like maybe two songs I don't know, and the rest is going to be heard before. But it's not like that. He came around and he released 27 albums, and he's like, I'm Zayn, I'm Zaddy, and I'm going to release this fucking long ass album for you to take, and I am in here to take it all inside of me, and just enjoy it. So I have been enjoying it. There's some good ones, there's some bad ones, and we're gonna go into them, and we're gonna start with this first half with Let Me. Let Me is honestly, when it came out as one of the singles, it was one of my favorite singles of all of them. All of them, this one was my favorite single because I like a tropical sound to his like him. A tropical sound sounds perfectly, and it sounds great, and it's just his voice, of course, just ranges for days. So I just love this song. The next song is Natural, so it's a much more slower one. It has slower beats. It's if you're looking for more of a Mind of Minds from the last album, it's pretty much that. It's definitely a leftover from the other album without being a leftover, and I really like it. It kind of kicks you off exactly what he was going with. And so the next song is Back to Life. And I like Back to Life. I felt like the beginning was perfect. I've just recently found out that he does a lot of Bollywood songs. Not a lot of them. He's done a couple of them lately. And this one has like the beginning of that Bollywood vocal run. And it just so natural, and it's so fun that he's actually experimenting with his sound. I like it. It's pretty much about this. It's pretty much him saying how supportive his girlfriend is, or his girlfriend, because they're not married. And so it's really good. And the next song is Common, and that one, and just so you know, it's the fact that there's 17 songs, just like Drake's Scorpion. You're not gonna come across you're gonna come across a good, like, maybe 5 songs or so. They're not gonna be that great. It's gonna be kind of boring. Well, this is one of them. Common is, I like the message. I like I like when he goes, there's something common about us, and he does a run with us, and it sounds so good. But the song's kind of generic, like with the sound, just like I've heard this before. Sonically, musically, it's good, but it sounds pretty the same. And and then we go on to Imprint, which is I like. I felt like it was much more. It kind of dug you out of the dark side, because he's very known to go for like the dark sound and everything. So this one is a little more upbeat, but not too much. It still gives you like still gives you his like moodiness, but it's still good. So that's that one. The next song is Stand Still, which is I personally like the fact that it starts off with a slow, kind of muffled beat kind of thing. The bass is much more muffled, but I like it, and it starts off like that, and it kind of opens up more with the beat opens up more. If you actually listen closely, there's a background of a Bollywood kind of sound, Bollywood drum. I couldn't tell you anything what it's called or anything, but it's just like you can kind of You can kind of hear it in the background, and it's so nice, and I love it. Just like, it's not too in the face, but it's not too faded in the back, and I really like that. Then we move on to Tonight, which is one of my other songs I really like for his vocals. It's pretty much a Pillow Talk Part 2, because it's slow like that. It's still talking. It's another like sexual, like sexy song, and that's exactly what it's the same type of theme. It's really good. The next song is Flight of the Stars, and these two songs, Tonight and Flight of the Stars, are two of the ones where I felt like it was like 2 in a row good songs. And I felt like this one was really good. I liked that it kind of just drifted its own little... It kind of drifts on its own way. There's no, like... It doesn't seem like there's really much of a pattern to this song, but in the best way. I like it because it's... I like that slow... It's like, it gives you that slow trap music, and I like that. And I also like the fact that it doesn't... There's a points where the beat stops. And I think it's the chorus where usually the beat stops. And then... it'll take a pause and it'll come back into the beat, which is, I like it because it kind of go boom, dun, 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 and I like that. And I like that kind of sound. It picks you up it picks you up right back to where you want to go with it, so it keeps it moving along, without getting bored with this because of slow trap music sound. Then the next song is If I Got You, which is I didn't really care for it. I felt like it kind of just went on, and that's pretty common with this, what it seems like with this album. Some parts of it, like there's some songs that just goes on for a while and just kind of heard before, so it's very like common. It's just kind of just you've heard it before. The next song is Talk to Me, which is also another song where he kind of put a little Bollywood sound to it, like a slight one. There's like a I kind of sound that he does, and it's really good. I also like the fact that it's more of like a slower Bollywood beat, which is I like. When I say Bollywood, it's not like face front Bollywood. It's much more let me give you R&B sound with a little Bollywood influence under it, like very undertone. So that one's a good one. The next song is There You Are, which is one of my favorites, because I like that. This one actually sounds a lot like 1D, like a lot of the melodies, a lot of the patterns is very One Direction. But you still have him, because you know why? Because he's the Beyonce of One Direction. He carried the notes. He carried everything a lot, and with the high notes and the lower notes and everything. So he just has. It just sounds like one that you would hear from like One Direction if he was like on Made in the AM. I love the repeated drum that hits with it. I love that because it kind of comes off of the explosive hook, and once you hear it, you'll see what I mean. Like explosive hook, and then the repeated drum to hear as he's in the middle of the hook. The next song is I Don't Mind, which is. I did mind that it was there. I kind of wish it wasn't. Like it was a good song. His lyrics are always going to be good. I feel like I shouldn't really judge him off of the lyrics, because the lyrics are usually really good. It's just this one doesn't really sound like anything. It sounds generic again. And finally, we have Icarus Interlude, which is kind of mad too, but I'm giving it a break because it's introducing you to the other side of the album. So you kind of get this side of the album. It's much more loving, much more like he's talking a lot about like more positive stuff about their relationships, and just how thankful he is about being in this relationship with the person he's with, Gigi Hadid, yeah, with Gigi Hadid. Just so you guys know, the title of the album is called Icarus Falls, which is, you obviously know, like it starts off with that more positive songs, and then you kind of moving on to the other songs. So I'm gonna stop it here, and we'll see you on the other flip side for part 2, where we'll talk about the other half of the album, where it gets a little more darker. So keep a lookout for part 2. I'm going to release it pretty soon, and I'll see you guys on the other video.